Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the tension like someone else's bad mood just jumped into your chest and made itself at home? Or maybe you've met someone who made you spill your darkest secrets within minutes, and you walked away wondering what the hell just happened? Yeah, chances are you just crossed paths with an empath. But here's the twist most people don't see coming. While empaths are usually painted as soft, loving, spiritual beings with hearts full of compassion, they might just be the most dangerous people you'll ever meet. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll realize that what seems like a gift, this deep emotional sensitivity, can also be a powerful and sometimes destructive force. Let's break it down. Who exactly are empaths? Let's clear the air first. An empath isn't just someone who feels bad when you cry during a sad movie. No. We're talking about people who literally absorb the emotions of others like a sponge soaking up water. They don't imagine what you're feeling, they feel it with you. If you're anxious, they're anxious. If you're heartbroken, they feel like they've been crushed too. It's like they've got emotional Wi-Fi built into their nervous system, and everyone's broadcasting their pain 24/7. And guess what? They don't even need a password to connect. This superpower comes from a unique neurological makeup. Empaths have hyperactive mirror neurons, the part of the brain that lights up when we see someone else in pain or joy. But in empaths, it's on overdrive. It's as if their brain screams, "Feel this now," every time someone else does. 1. The emotional chameleon. Empaths can become whoever you need them to be. Seriously, it's almost creepy how they can blend into any room. Mirror your tone, your body language, even your beliefs, just to make you feel safe and seen. And because of this, people trust them instantly. But here's where it gets tricky. That emotional camouflage, it gives them insane access to your soul. They know what you need to hear. They know what makes you tick. And if they're not careful or if they've been hurt, this ability can turn into subtle manipulation. It's not always intentional, but the effect is the same. You spill your secrets, they absorb your pain, and you're left vulnerable while they walk away holding the emotional blueprints of everyone they meet. 2. The emotional vampire. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt completely drained after talking to someone? Like they sucked the energy right out of your chest? That's what happens when an empath doesn't know how to protect their own energy. They take in so much of everyone else's emotional baggage that they end up leaking it back out just to survive. And here's the catch. They might not even know they're doing it. But being around an unbalanced empath can feel like standing next to an emotional black hole. You walk in happy and leave heavy. And this is especially dangerous in close relationships, because what starts as support can quickly turn into dependency and emotional burnout. 3. Weaponized intuition. Empaths don't just guess what you're feeling. They know. It's like they've got emotional X-ray vision. They pick up on the tiniest cues, a twitch, a tone, a hesitation, and boom, they've got you figured out. Now imagine someone using that gift not to comfort you, but to push your buttons. This is what happens when empathy turns into strategy. An empath with a grudge or unresolved trauma can use their intuition like a sniper rifle, zeroing in on your weak spots to win arguments, gain control, or steer outcomes in their favor, all while wearing the mask of the calm, understanding friend. 4. Emotional contagion. Here's something wild. Emotions are contagious. We all know that. But empaths? They're like emotional super spreaders. If an empath walks into a room bursting with positivity, everyone else feels lighter. That's the beautiful side. But flip the switch, and a bad mood from one empath can bring down the energy of an entire family, team, or group chat. Studies even show that the most emotionally expressive person in a group sets the tone regardless of their title or role. And if that person is an overwhelmed empath, brace yourself. Their emotional state doesn't just affect them. It becomes the lens through which others start seeing the world. 5. Blurred boundaries. Empaths have a hard time drawing the line between your pain and my responsibility. They feel so deeply for others that they'll overextend, overgive, and overcommit until they're running on fumes. And when they crash hard. What starts as love turns into resentment. They might start guilt-tripping the people they tried to save. They'll say things like, "After all I've done for you," and it hits hard because it's true. But here's the truth. When you can't say no, when you can't protect your own energy, you end up bleeding on people who never hurt you. That's when empathy turns toxic. 6. The empath meltdown. You ever seen someone who's always calm suddenly snap like a twig? That's what happens when an empath hits emotional overload. They take and take until they can't anymore, and then boom. It's like a dam breaking. They might lash out, shut down, cry uncontrollably, or make impulsive choices that hurt everyone involved, including themselves. And the worst part? Most people don't see it coming, because empaths are usually the strong ones, the good listeners, the ones who never complain. But under pressure, all that suppressed emotion turns into a storm, and when it hits, it can destroy everything in its path. 7. The savior complex. A lot of empaths carry this unconscious belief. It's my job to fix you. They attract broken people, wounded hearts, emotional projects, and they pour themselves into healing everyone else even when no one asked. But saving others can become an addiction. They might enable toxic behavior, make excuses for someone else's bad choices, or stay in one-sided relationships just because they see the potential. And when the people they're trying to help don't change or worse, take advantage, they get bitter. That bitterness turns into passive aggression. And suddenly, their help starts to feel like control. 8. The human lie detector. Empaths are like living lie detectors. They know when something's off, even if you say "I'm fine" with a smile. It's hard to lie to an empath because they feel what's underneath your words. This can be a gift, but it's also scary because sometimes the truth hurts, and sometimes it was better left buried. An empath might dig deeper, expose secrets, or confront people without realizing the emotional chaos they're about to unleash. Worse, they might use that insight to manipulate or guilt others because "I know how you really feel" becomes a powerful tool in the wrong hands. 9. The emotional puppet master. Now here's where things get real. Some empaths, especially those who've been hurt, learn to control people through emotions. Not with force, but with energy, with silence, with perfectly timed tears. They know exactly what emotional tone will get the response they want. They can guilt trip you into apologizing for something you didn't do, or inspire you to make a huge life decision without saying a word. It's not magic. It's just deep emotional intelligence turned inward, and it can be dangerous if it's never checked. 10. The reality distortion field. Ever been around someone who made you believe in something completely unrealistic just because they were so passionate? That's the reality distortion field of an empath. When an empath feels something strongly enough, they don't just believe it, they make you believe it too. Their emotional conviction is so intense, it overrides logic. And before you know it, you're agreeing, supporting, following without really knowing why. It's subtle. It's powerful, and in extreme cases, it can create cult-like dynamics where one empath's emotional truth becomes everyone's truth. It's not always malicious, but it can be deeply manipulative even when they don't realize it. Look, being an empath is not a curse. It's a beautiful, rare gift. The ability to feel with others, to connect on a soul level, That's powerful. But like all power, it needs responsibility. An unhealed empath can wreak havoc, not just in their own life, but in the lives of everyone around them. While a conscious empath, they can become the most powerful healer, leader, and light bringer on this planet. So if you're an empath, own your power, but also protect it. Learn to set boundaries, discharge emotions, and give from overflow, not from emptiness. And if you know an empath, love them gently, but never lose your sense of self in their ocean. If you've made it this far, drop a 100% in the comments to let me know you received this truth. And remember, feeling deeply isn't weakness, but unchecked empathy? That's a storm in disguise. Thanks for watching. And if this opened your eyes, there's another video waiting for you right now on your screen. See you there.